Hello, this is the second S3QL demo video. I was showing you in the previous video how you can perform an S3QL query against an S3DB deployment. So let's go back to the S3DB page. In this video I'm going to show you the compact notation for S3QL. So if you go to documentation again, there is a link for the S3QL compact notation, which essentially just lets you write S3QL without all the complication of the XML tags. So for writing the compact notation, all you're going to need is this very simple string. So you start with specifying what's going to be the action, and you can either say it's a select, an insert, an update, or a delete. You then specify what's going to be the target of your query. So in our example, it was the project. So for project, you would use only the first letter of the name of the entity. So that's going to be a P. So if it was a collection, you would use a C. For an item, you would use an I, and so forth. And then you specify what are going to be the parameters that we are going to use. And you specify that after the pipe character. So let's see how we can build a web application using this compact notation and using the jQuery library to perform the action on S3DB. So let's just create a new HTML page. Let's say, I don't know, S3QL Demo. Put it under my web server. And now let's get to the libraries. The first library that I'm going to use is a library that is part of the S3DB set of JavaScript libraries. So if you go to S3DB's page on Google Code, you can find a bunch of S3DB specific applications already written here. If you go to the JS repository and the source and you browse it, you're going to find the S3QL translator library over here, and you can just go ahead, either download the source or just use the source from its original location. And let's add a script tag and put the source there. A second library that I'm going to get is the jQuery one. So if I go to the jQuery site, jQuery.com, I just download from there or use it directly from their source and put it on my script. The reason why I need jQuery is because it makes the AJAX calls much easier to perform. Now I will start writing a little bit of the JavaScript code that I'm going to need for this demonstration. So the first thing that I'm going to need is write my query on the compact notation. So if you remember, the query that we were performing on the previous video was a query to retrieve all the collections that were belonging to a project. So the action of this query was select, and now for specifying that I want my target to be a collection, I just need to specify that my target is C. So that's the first letter of the word collection. And then using the pipe character, I can say that I want the project ID to be whatever I specified previously. So if we go back to the demo that we were using last time, and again log in as guests as username and password, and so here is the project that we were working previously. I'm just going to copy the identity here, and there are two ways to specify that I want the project ID to be the value that I just copied, and you can either say it like that, or you can say that I want project ID like that. Now the second thing that we're going to need is to convert this compact notation into the XML format. So we do that by calling the S3QL translator function, which we included on the first library. And finally, we are ready to make the function call. Of course, first we're going to probably want to specify what URL should the query be run against. And so the URL is going to be the one that we were using for the demo. And we're also still going to need the key, because we still need to authenticate ourselves as a user of S3DB. So if we go to the keys tab and copy the key from there, we can use it here. Finally, we can make the final, we can build up the final URL to call, which is going to be the URL concatenated with the S3QL.php function. And another thing that we're going to need is to say that the key should be should have that value. We need to say what the query should look like, and that is going to be the output of the XML, the output of the S3QL translator. And another thing that we're going to need is say that the format should be JSON. Now, as I was showing you previously, there are several formats that you can use for returning data from S3DB. And for jQuery purposes, JSON is always the best option, because it allows you to bring the data already in a parsed format as an object. Okay, so we're finally ready to make the function call. So we can use the getJSON function from jQuery. As first argument, we put the URL to call. Also, we're going to need the callback. The callback basically gives you a way to control whatever happens after the data comes back, because since this function, this JavaScript is asynchronous, what happens when you don't have the data, if you try to access the data before the data comes back, you're going to have an error message. Now, for example, I can show you, once the data comes back, what's the length, so how many results are returned by this variable. So let's see, run this on the browser, see what we get. Okay, so it's telling us I found 3 results, and of course now data is stuck inside our function call, so we can actually look at it if we can create a global variable over here, which is probably not the best way to go about it, but it works for demonstration purposes. So if I say that my S3DB data is variable data, and now I open Firebug, I should be able to have my S3DB data here already parsed. So there are 3 results, which was exactly what we were getting from the calling the S3QL call on the browser. And here you'll find all the attributes that are associated with each of these entries. Okay, and that's it for this part of the S3QL demo, and thank you for watching.